I'll just get right to the point and say it. These final episodes of Rebels over the past few weeks have been absolutely fantastic, and last night's finale may be my favorite episode yet. I'd put Family Reunion and Farewell right up there with the Season 2 finale, Twilight of the Apprentice. In a lot of ways, the series ended perfectly for me, not just because it sufficiently wrapped up all of the primary storylines over the past 4 seasons, but it opened up so many new possibilities for amazing new stories for many of these characters, whether it be in books, comics, or something even greater. In a way, the finale was bittersweet, as just like with the Clone Wars TV series, I feel like Rebels is ending just as it's starting to hit its stride. But at least this time, the crew was given the opportunity to end the series in a suitable way of their choosing. In this video, I want to give some of my general thoughts about the best moments and takeaways from the finale. There'll be time to go more in-depth regarding some of these topics, but I'd love to hear what everyone's feedback is regarding the finale, as well as the show in general now that it's finished. Of course, I have to start with our favorite Chiss Grand Admiral, Thrawn. Going all the way back to when it was first announced at Celebration 2016 that Thrawn would be brought back into the canon through Rebels, I thought it was great to have the character return. But there was always the question of what would happen to Thrawn by the end of the series, knowing that it would end right before the original trilogy, and Thrawn isn't seen or named at any point in the canon during this timeline. Coming into Season 4, my preferred course for Thrawn was to have the Grand Admiral recognize that the Death Star was a real threat to the Chiss ascendancy, thus prompting him to leave the Empire and rejoin the Chiss within the Unknown Regions, which would have tied in nicely to the Thrawn novel in my opinion. However, the way that it was handled in the finale is even better. If you would have told me back in 2016 that the Chimera would be attacked by Purgles and then taken to an unknown location with Thrawn still on board, I would have never believed you. But here we are, and I think it works perfectly. We now have a perfect explanation for why Thrawn wasn't heard from by the time of the original trilogy, nor part of the Battle of Endor where one would think the Empire's Grand Admiral would be. Thrawn's final moments in the finale also perfectly lined up with the Bendu's foreshadowing in the Season 3 finale, with Thrawn's defeat literally surrounding him with many arms in a cold embrace. Although I've seen questions regarding whether or not Thrawn survived, given that he was taken through hyperspace with the bridge practically destroyed, I think we can assume that the Chiss survived past the finale. The God Emperor Dave Filoni himself confirmed last fall that Thrawn survives past the timeline of Rogue One, which would take place after the Rebels finale. Further, it just fits with the final line spoken between Thrawn and Ezra, with Thrawn stating, "Whatever happens next happens to both of us," with Ezra confirming that that was the idea. Given the ending of Ahsoka and Sabine beginning their journey to find Ezra, it's likely that Ezra and Thrawn both survived. Therefore, we now have the possibility of more stories involving both Ezra and Thrawn together, which would be a lot of fun in my opinion. I think Ezra finally came into his own this season, and putting him together with Thrawn was a great idea, as it now takes both of them out of the original trilogy timeline, making Tarkin's line to Vader about him being all that's left of the Jedi more believable, and also elevates Luke's importance to come, particularly with the death of Kanan this season as well. The finale created a situation where they can take Thrawn's character in a number of potential directions within the canon, whether he rejoins the Chiss ascendancy, or even a potential story post Return of the Jedi, which would be amazing. Also, I'm sure a lot of you caught it, but I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the name drop of Captain Pellaeon by Thrawn. Additions like that made the finale even more remarkable. I was also blown away by the appearance of Ahsoka at the end of the episode. She didn't have a role to play in the finale, but we now know that Ahsoka lives not only following her duel with Vader on Malachor, but also post-Return of the Jedi. And having her pick up Sabine on Lothal in a Jedi T6 shuttle was perfect. I was hoping that they'd touch on some aspects of her on Malachor following her exit from the World Between Worlds, but I'm happy that they provided us with at least an appearance from Ahsoka, and an answer to the question of what Anakin's former apprentice did after Return of the Jedi, if she survived that long. Of course, there'll be questions remaining regarding why she didn't contact Luke if she was around during the timeline of the original trilogy, but I think that there were enough clues in the episode to at least allow us to speculate as to why this may have been. It could have simply been that Ahsoka exited the World Between Worlds closer to the timeline post Return of the Jedi than it appeared, and like Maul, simply didn't have a ship to get off the planet. An idea that I like even more is that Ahsoka was engaged in a journey of her own that was separate from Luke's journey. In her brief appearance in the finale, it appears that she's transcended in some manner, almost akin to the return of Gandalf the White in Lord of the Rings. If we read into the cards designed by Filoni and unveiled at Celebration 2016, which have done a pretty good job of foreshadowing what happened to Ahsoka this season already, we may see Ahsoka undergo a transformation of some kind once she enters the temple on Malachor. Whether it's something akin to entering the pool of knowledge seen in Legends, giving her a greater understanding of the past and future, or just provides Ahsoka with a new path or journey to take regarding the Force, the finale at least allows us to speculate as to why she was around during this time but didn't contact Luke. But just like with Thrawn, there are now so many potential directions to take with Ahsoka, and her search for Ezra with Sabine would be something I'd love to see explored in other materials. It was great to learn that Hera was a veteran not just of the Battle of Scarif, but also at the Battle of Endor as well. But I was truly surprised by the reveal that Kanan and Hera had a child, given the build-up to Hera telling Kanan her true feelings earlier this season. I think this was the perfect ending to their story that started in the novel A New Dawn. The official canonization of Rex at the Battle of Endor was also a great touch as part of the epilogue of the finale. I thought that the clones could have been used a little bit more this season. A confrontation between Rex and a clone trooper working for the Empire was on my wish list coming into the season. But I think Gregor's last words to Rex about them having the chance to fight for something they chose did an excellent job of bringing the story of the clones and rebels full circle, and was just a great scene overall. There were so many more great scenes in Family Reunion and Farewell, including Sidious's attempt to manipulate Ezra, the Red Guards in action, and a reversal for Price from the end of the Thrawn novel to this finale. There'll be so much more to discuss about the episode and the show generally over the coming days and weeks, but it was so great to have a fitting finale to end a series that I've enjoyed so much over the past 4 years. We say goodbye to Rebels now, but I'm looking forward to speculating about the next project undertaken by Filoni and crew. Please do not hesitate to let me know what you thought about the series finale of Rebels down in the comments section below. Thank you for watching everyone, and as always, may the Force be with you.